let me just write out the other two things that I think in a simplified model to focus on as a novice leader today would be helpful. So, advanced decision making, the 5 or 6 questions. Pull out the right questions there. Start to practice those. Start to have those handy when you're going into, when you're initiating a crucial conversation. And have them handy when others are doing that so you can be prepared to respond in a productive way. Second is, it's all about the pool shared needs. So if you focus on this, I think you're going to be most productive to start. So that's what I'm trying to create in this conversation to begin with. How do I focus on a pool of shared needs? 3 things that I think are key to focus on. The need to be both a participant and observer. So I think we're naturally geared towards when we're in action, we get to action. Right? We're in the game, we want to play the game. When we're trying to get something done, we want to be a part of getting that done. But here's a critical piece of crucial conversations. You not only need to be a participant, you need to be an observer. So if you focus on, I want to create a pool chair meeting, but I need to not only participate in it, I need to observe that because it's not a static thing, it's dynamic, and I need to make sure we have productive pool chair meeting. Secondly, focus on safety. Safety means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but think the idea of safety and how do I create that? Monitor and create are the key things there. So what might safety look like? As the observer, what does safety look like for this person, not just for me? If I'm initiating a crucial conversation, a lot of times I'm made to feel totally safe, right? Because I'm the one taking action and being proactive on that. But if I'm not creating safety goals, so I need to monitor, is safety there for them? If not, how do we create mutual safety in order to have pool share meeting? And then lastly, it's just to build shared meeting. So, advanced decision making, 5 or 6 questions. Then I focus on, in my interaction pool of shared meeting. You need to be both a participant and an observer to do that. You need to make sure there's safety, mutual safety, and then build that shared meeting together. If I can focus on those 3 things, I can elevate my ability to have a crucial conversation. Now, they drill down into additional layers. So once you get good at doing these 3 steps, then I would recommend, let's drill down even further and say, what are some of the specifics to do some of these elements? But until you create this focus, I think you get overwhelmed with too much stuff to try and focus on and you're not going to be effective. So at the highest level, do these things. And then the third thing on that is move to action. Once we've done that, decide, clarify, act. So in reading all that's said, there's a lot of other, like I said, if you think of it as an onion, you got to peel some layers. This is probably layer 1. And if you start on this layer, and once you get good at these things, then you can peel to other layers and start to add those elements that are going to help you in different stages of this. Thoughts or comments on this section, that simplified way of looking at getting started on having more productive conversations, or any comments in general before I read the last section?
Would you ask someone, speaking of respect, what action could I take to show you that I respect you? Because I'm seeing it. But what action can I do to prove it to you? I don't know if that's the correct word.
Would you ask that question?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's part of, getting to understand that. That's what we think sometimes is respect is not perceived as respect. Right? Everybody's got a little different meaning. It's funny, as I work with groups now, one of the things that I do is whenever we have a word that seems to be fairly common, and you'd think people are on the same page, I always start now and say, what does this mean to you, right? So even the littlest word, so I was working with a group and we were talking about leadership. Leadership is, we all have a general sense, but when we started drilling down to specific meanings, it was all over the place. Right? the same thing with respect or success. It's all, and until you get that shared understanding of that, you can't get to that place. So how I view respect, how you review respect, how everybody reviews respect is a little bit different in the room. And so if I'm going to have a productive conversation, I should say I want that and I don't want to disrespect you. Can you help me understand what respect is to you?
But their meaning of respect doesn't match yours, because they could say, well, you respect me when you agree with me. Well, that's not respect,
right?
Basically.
Then you need to create a pooled shared meaning of what respect is.
So that's not a shared meaning.
Right, that's not a shared meaning. So I can understand that. So how can we get closer to that? But here's what respect is on my side. So we really need to, it's that two-guy pulling, coming to the middle of the triangle, let's define respect together. Right? And ultimately, if they're not willing to come to that point, then we need to consider where that relationship is going. Other comments or thoughts? Does this make it helpful to kind of simplify, taking some steps, leaving today? You can do those things as a starting point, and then drill down even further with the book review, or the next level is even read the full book, and you'll probably pull some other things to feed that. But if you left today with this 3-step process and subcomponents, I think you can take a big step forward with your